This used to be one of the busiest spots in central Gaza, a lifeline for thousands who would queue for long hours in the scorching heat or under the bombardment to get a few pieces of bread to feed their families. But today, this bakery is quite silent and shuttered, like so many other bakeries across the entire Gaza Strip, as the management of this bakery has left a notice here for families that this bakery is closed until further notice.
The bakery is very useful to all of us. Not to have a bakery means a crisis for everyone. I used to bake bread with flour in a clay oven for myself and for others. Now when they have it, people use pasta, rice and lentils, put them in water for a while and then bake this dough. But we are facing starvation, with the full meaning of the word.
Following 80 days of a full and tight Israeli closure of all border crossings with Gaza, Israel allowed for a basic amount of aid into the strip, and people used to wait here in order to get bags of flour from UN warehouses in the central areas of Gaza. UN, in fact, estimates that Gaza requires between 500 to 600 aid trucks completely loaded with all kinds of food items and flour to alleviate the current crisis. Here in this place, we used to see bags of flour being lined up on the ground in order to be distributed for thousands of families in the central area. Now, the situation, as you can see, is quite deteriorating as the United Nations did not get enough amount of aid to be distributed for local families, and many bakeries that have resumed limited operations have been forced to suspend their work due to the insufficient amount of flour that were sent to the Gaza Strip. Apparently, the Israeli military now is trying to shift the distribution process to be completely directed towards the southern part of Gaza, where civilians will be forced to walk for long distance to get aid from the designated and concentrated aid distribution there, while people on the ground are suffering from unprecedented rates of malnutrition, where the United Nations estimate that at least 500,000 Palestinians are suffering from acute and food insecurity. So apparently, empty shelters, complete depletion of all kinds of aid supplies, and now Gaza Strip is quite left in limbo, leaving families quite desperate and vulnerable to fend for themselves and to survive the next day. Tareq, Azzoum, Al Jazeera, from al-Nuseirat refugee camp, Palestine.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.